I scammed $50 million illegally and got caught red-handed trying to move the money. But during the interrogation, I suddenly asked the financial crimes detective, "The 2 fraud cases you're pinning on me, those went down at 8:30 last night, right?" The detective waved his hand impatiently. "The evidence is airtight. What are you even trying to argue?" So, where exactly was I between 8 and 9 p.m. last night? The next second, every cop in that interrogation room froze. They'd been so locked in on the fraud case, they completely missed what I was setting up. The moment those words left my mouth, the whole room went dead silent. In my past life, I was the perfect fall guy for my girlfriend and roommate. They pulled off a massive fraud and theft that shook the whole campus, then used my digital signature and fingerprints to pin it all on me. 4 years of law school and I never saw it coming. I became a victim of the very system I studied. I got sentenced to 10 years, my parents never recovered, they died broken. I thought if I just survived long enough, I'd finally see the light. But the day before my release, they had me killed inside. When I opened my eyes again, I was back, the exact day they were closing the trap. If they could fake evidence putting me at the scene, I'd create an alibi so airtight no one on earth could deny it. With that plan in mind, I headed straight to the front of the downtown police station and went live. I grabbed a brick and smashed a row of rental bikes. The stream blew up instantly. Comments were flooding the screen nonstop. "Bro, this guy's lost his mind. Someone call the cops. This dude's gotta be crazy." All the outrage in the comments, exactly what I wanted. Sure enough, sirens started wailing in the distance. That's when I dropped the brick. I turned to the camera. "Remember this, October 23rd, 2023, 8 p.m. Sheng Lin is committing a crime right here." 3 officers came running over, batons out. I smashed the bikes. "Stop wasting time, just arrest me already." Then I walked right into the police car myself. The cops had never seen a suspect that cooperative. What really messed with their heads? I was even more brazen inside the interrogation room. I smashed every single one of those bikes and I'm not paying for any of it. I've got one demand, detain me, today. The officers were completely thrown off. The captain tried to be helpful. "You know what detention actually means, right?" I just grinned at him. "Intentional destruction of property, 5 to 10 days detention, up to 500 yuan fine. Aggravated cases, 10 to 15 days detention, up to 1,000 yuan fine." I wrecked 5 bikes, total damage over 2,000 yuan. That qualifies as aggravated. The captain stared. "You study law?" I nodded. "Yep, that's exactly why I know what I'm doing." The cops had no choice. By the book, they had to put me in a detention cell. I leaned against the wall, closed my eyes, and thought back to my past life. Right now, Zhu Wangsheng and Liu Ruyan were at the school computer lab, finishing the final wire transfer. They used my student card to get in, my fingerprint to unlock the computer, and a pre-recorded voice clip to verify the transaction. Every piece of evidence pointed straight to me being there. This time around, I was sitting in a police detention cell. The department itself was my alibi. I'd like to see anyone try to punch holes in that. While I was mapping out my next move, a breaking news alert popped up on the TV. Shares of companies saw unusual fluctuations today. Authorities have launched an investigation. Seeing that, I knew my job now was to lay low, wait for Liu Ruyan and Zhu Wangsheng to show up with their evidence and try to frame me. Once they made their move, it'd all be over. Just like I expected, early the next morning, they pulled me out of the cell. The officer slammed a pile of documents on the table. Last night at 8:30, 50 million was illegally transferred out of companies' accounts. Every single transaction was authorized using your personal credentials, private key, and digital signature. Just then, my parents showed up at the station, with Liu Ruyan and Zhu Wangsheng right behind them. Liu Ruyan couldn't wait to chime in. "Uncle, Auntie, I really didn't want to say this, but Sheng Lin's been deep into online gambling lately, and he owes a ton of money. Last night, he even stole my laptop." I think my mom cut her off. My son would never do something like this. But then Liu Ruyan pulled out a phone and hit play. It sounded just like me. "I'm gonna score big. Pull this off and I'll never have to answer to anyone again." My heart was pounding. When was that recorded? I had zero memory of ever saying that. Zhu Wangsheng pulled out his phone and handed it over to the cops too. "Officer, these are my chat logs with Sheng Lin." He'd been asking around about the company's internal financial systems. Screenshot after screenshot, chat log after chat log, all clearly showing me asking for account passwords. I felt like I'd been struck by lightning. Then Liu Ruyan pulled out an encrypted USB drive. "We found this in Sheng Lin's dorm yesterday. It's loaded with offshore bank account documents." The officer plugged it in. The screen filled up with code and banking files I couldn't make heads or tails of. Another officer walked in and whispered something to the captain. His expression got even darker. The captain turned to my parents. "Did you get any debt collection calls last night?" My mom nodded. Someone called saying Sheng Lin owed them 3 million. I figured it was a scam call. Right there, with all that evidence stacked against me, my mom collapsed before she could finish speaking. That's when my most respected professor showed up, eyes full of disappointment and confusion. "Sheng Lin, why? How could you do this?" I kept my head down, couldn't even look at him. I just murmured, "Someone stole my signature and credentials." The officer let out a cold laugh. "Stolen by who? Liu Ruyan? Zhu Wangsheng? They both have alibis, and they're the ones who reported you. Every piece of evidence points straight at you." My professor sighed and walked away. The captain announced, "We're opening a major financial fraud investigation, criminal detention." As I was let out, reporters swarmed in. As a star student from the law school, a case this massive had already gone viral. The crowd outside wouldn't stop screaming at me. It looked like game over. Liu Ruyan and Zhu Wangsheng were smirking, but that's when I dropped the bomb. Officer, just to confirm, the crime went down at 8:30 last night, right? The cop figured I was just stalling. The evidence is airtight. I laughed. I smashed bikes right in front of this station last night, then you locked me up the entire night. You've got surveillance footage and dozens of officers who saw it. So exactly how did I commit this crime? Zhu Wangsheng and Liu Ruyan's faces dropped.